Okay, so I'm kind of sorry if my voice is shaky. My Jeep just got hit outside, but we're gonna get this rolling. So, this is the Growing Guide by the Plant Company. Um, let me see here. It is a mobile app that is state of the art and has many useful features for plant enthusiasts. So we're going to go over benefits and key features, consumer advantages, market analysis and competition, sales and the marketing plan, ethical considerations, and the financial plan. So, benefits and key features. What kind of benefit does this app have for consumers? Boy. The benefits of the Growing Guide are easy to read instructions that are detailed and with color-coded sections for what you are needing. There's also the AI scanning of the plant that will help you with your plant's health and identification. So you find the right way to treat it in less time so you don't have to Google or post in forums or anything. And knowing the growing and care of your plants will also come in handy for knowing how to actually take care of them. Most house plants are of the jungle or fern variety, so they aren't accustomed to growing outside their climate zone very well. So knowing what climate zone your plant comes from will help to ensure that it gets cared for correctly and that the health of the plant stays stable. And for outdoor plants, a greenhouse or other structure might be needed depending on what you choose. And we would have a section for that. So this app can be used by hobbyists or professional horticulturists and farmers. Giving information on irrigation and greenhousing techniques would offer an advantage over to competitors, as this isn't something they really tend to include in their apps or their websites. Usually you have to pay to know how to use a greenhouse. Including how to build one of these structures and what to use on a budget would also benefit customers, since they can do small scale production or whatever and still be able to afford to be able to do that. So, your main section or main sections of the app would be house plant, outdoor plant, and edible plant care. So they would be in the following color-coded sections within the app, and they would all have their own tab, and then everything within the tab color-coded as well. So red would be houseplants, and this would be the different types and genus of houseplants, sunlight and water needs of each plant and what climate they're from. So you would know what setting they would need to thrive. And then green would be outdoor plants, and that would be different styles or different types and genus of the plants as well. Annual or perennial status, so you know if it's going to come back or yearly or not. The original climate zone, this would have to be followed a little bit more to the letter, as you can't really put plants outside of their climate zone. You know, you can't really grow a palm tree in Wyoming. So the planting calendar for optimal growing times, and if it would be needed to cover in the winter if it falls within your zone. So blue would be edible plants. This section would be a little bit different because edible plants is such a wide range of things. So this would be your spices, your herbs, your fruits, vegetables, and other like root plants, everything like that. This would also include the genus and the types. Optimal planting and germination times, since you grow your edible plants from a seed, so you wouldn't have to know how to germinate those, and what times would be optimal for planting. And then you would also have to know the climate zone, and then it would give you the optimal harvest calendars for when you had planted it. So this would be part of your growth chart. You would have it all written down. So that way you would know when to do it safely or when your edible plant was ready. Soil, mineral, and fertilizer needs are included in all 3 sections, as each type of plant is going to need this to some extent. You do have to watch the nitrogen in all of your plants, usually, and what kind of soil they need, sandy, regular. Every plant grows in a different kind of environment, so you have to be ready to know what that is. So this app is going to help you do that. There's a propagation and trimming section. So this is mostly for houseplants. That is how you keep them healthy, because if they grow too much, it can actually harm the plant. And then the propagation, you can get new plants from these cuttings and give them to your friends or sell them. And then your monthly growth charts and growth monitoring will be available, but that would require more time and dedication from the user to use these functions properly, since you would have to input data daily to weekly to actually have these accurate for your plants. What are the advantages for purchasing this product? You get the knowledge of the plants in your care, how to keep them happy and healthy, and continuing to cultivate and propagate them correctly. Setting up a propagation station is a great way to turn a hobby into a side gig, as I mentioned before. And with this app and its detailed instructions, you can do just that. And we would use AI, so you can smartly scan your plants to find out what their genus and species are. And it'll pull up the section of the guide needed for the care of that plant or that type of plant, without having to go through a book or spend hours trying to Google what it is, especially if you aren't sure what it is to begin with. Scanning the plants would also help AI determine the health of the plant, like if there is pests or too much direct sunlight on the plant causing bleach spots, and whatever steps is needed to return that plant to its full health. It'll also help you with your edible plants and if they are ready to harvest based on the data you put in the beginning of the growing season. So you would have to put in when you planted or when you germinated and follow your growth chart, and it'll help you know the optimal time for harvest. And if you choose to sell your plants or your products, there is a sold separately add-on for this app called Smart Price, which we are also working on the side to build into the growing guide. It'll help you with the current market value of these plants and how to sell them. So it'll give detailed instructions on where to go and what the current prices of things are. This is a separate feature that will be need to continue to be fine-tuned in order to launch. Just putting the idea in your head so we can have a stepping stone for our company. The market analysis and competition. So what does the market look like? Is there a want for this product? Yes. As more and more people lean into horticulture as a hobby, plant parents have become very popular. Plants are a lot easier to take care of than pets, so a lot of people are leaning towards that. Having a way for these consumers to track and grow their plants is going to help them feel like the parent, and as well as having a creative outlet for them. This is also a way to find friends and a community when you all come together and use this app. So, a couple of competitors would be Burpee, Garden.org, and Planta. This is a random sample. There is a huge market of just plant care apps alone right now. So if we want to become a big player in this industry, we really need to move fast. So, Burpee is one of the largest and most well-known plant distributors. They do have a couple of stuff on their website about this kind. Planta is a plant care app that I found. It is one of the better ones. And garden.org is a large online database for plants. So the difference between us and Burpee are that they are web-based, so they can't offer the scanning features that we do. They do not have a full database about their plants, just kind of fundamental growing guides and other articles. These are good, but sometimes you want to dig into the plant more and learn about it to be able to care for it better. We both offer the ability to purchase plants. The plant company does have our online website where you can look at the catalog and order from that. Ours is obviously only online at this point, but with the availability of the app, we could potentially in time add that feature. The ability to use one app to purchase, learn care techniques, and scheduling for your plants offers ease to the consumer, and it saves them time from searching on the web. And since we transition towards that as a society, I feel like that's going to be the best way for us to go. So Planta is an app. They are one of those quote unquote free apps that if you want all the good features, you have to get the premium versions. So the reviews are kind of quite mixed on that. There's also excessive ads in all versions, which is annoying to customers. They don't really want to see a whole lot of ads if they're paying not to. There has been multiple complaints or reviews that I've seen of update issues or bugs, which is a great way to lose customers. So we were going to have to ensure that we do a thorough beta testing before our launch to ensure that our app is bug-free. Seriously? Get out of here. Go. They do offer AI scanning via Dr. Planta. That is what they call theirs. But there is issues with that as well. Some of their knowledge isn't correct from what I've read. And if they don't know the plant you are scanning, you aren't able to add it to your plant team. So we will have to have quite an expansive database just to ensure this doesn't happen, and then have a way for customers to help us add plants as they come in. And being upfront with our cost is going to help us seem kind of trustworthy, and getting great recommendations from our partners will also help us gain traction on the market. Oh, excuse me. Garden.org will be one of the harder competitors to tackle. I will say that I am very impressed with their layout. On top of the huge database they have, there's helpful articles and forums you can join. So we are going to have to really be ready to beat them within our app. The drawbacks for them is that they are web-based. So doing things mobily is kind of a hassle. You can't really do it on the go. And if you don't know what type of plants you have already, it's going to be kind of difficult to look up care and kind of time consuming to search through the forums. And I know I sound really repetitive with this, but our AI scanning capability is really going to put us ahead, since the ability to ID plants is going to be so much faster and easier for consumers, and it's going to pull up the pages that they need for that plant. So, sales and marketing, what do we need to do? The basis of this section is basically what I'm going to need from you to be able to get the word out there about our app. So we're gonna have to use our services to follow the market and competition, use real reviews and testimonials, and superior knowledge and setup. So the plan of attack is quite basic. To keep things relatively cheap at first with our marketing, we'll have to start out using the follower tactic and feel out the market while we fine-tune the app against everybody else. This doesn't mean stealing ideas by any means, just ensuring that our app is as bug-free as possible and looks more desirable than others is going to help us stay very ahead in the long run. Since we will be bringing in and working with industry professionals and universities to develop our database and app itself, we can use testimonials and boast a superior product full of knowledge from these individuals. Depending on the program or the university, we might be able to find a way to become part of their classwork, kind of like a required book if we can get it in the market that way. But that is a discussion with the professionals and professors after I get the green light for this. So using real reviews is also a great way to gain traction, as people will listen to other consumers. Everybody loves hearing from real people. And with the easy to use interface and upfront pricing, we will quickly become a trustworthy app, and people are going to love that. We can also discuss doing a free trial if we are interested in that route, but we will need to state that directly and offer a refund plan or a watered down version of our app, so consumers can really kind of feel it out if they don't want to pay the $15 up front, or if there's a way that we could integrate like a 2-week trial period, and then after that 2 weeks is up, you either continue to use the app or you lose all features. That is going to be up to the marketing team and see how they want to go. So this is a competition analysis chart. Looking at our chart, you can see that we would dominate on the market because we are app-based. We have a large database, AI scanning, and ease of use. And everyone else is kind of mixed. So Burpee does have a somewhat large database. They do have their growing guides, which is nice, but they don't have the actual like plant database like garden.org does. Garden.org is kind of hard to use. You kind of have to know what you're looking for. Like their layout of the website is really pretty and it's really nice, but if you don't know exactly what you're looking for, it's kind of going to be hard. And the ease of use on Planta is just from the reviews that I was reading, and their database is obviously lacking. The only thing they have going for them is they are app-based and they have AI scanning. So ethical considerations, you could, as you know, the plant company was started to reinvent the house plant industry. So what steps do we need to take in the financial plan? Development, maintenance, app development, app design, development team, app maintenance, server and hosting, and updates and enhancements. So creating a strong brand presence is important, even though we are using the follower approach. So we're going to need a significant marketing budget. Google and social media ads are a great way to start, and continuing our PR outreach will help get our name out there. PR outreach can include garden shows, reaching out to our current distributors, or creating workshops locally. We can also look into getting a content creator to help us with our social media platforms. So employees will obviously be needed to make this work. We can start with our initial team to help distribute the workload and see how many more people we're going to need to make this work. CSRs will need to be trained on how to help with diagnostic issues within the app and any other technical assistance people that we're going to need for that. So this leads us to research and development, which is the essentials. Thankfully, we have our established team that is helping on the growing side, so we can use a lot of them and help bring in the universities to help us fine-tune our data. So the last of our costs is licensing and payment processing, all of which we kind of have already. Utilities and other hidden expenses are also under our belt, and we will just have to account for them in the budget. So I don't have actual costs of the plan, that's why they're just X's, but that would be how much for your development, advertising, employees, everything like that. So keeping our product affordable is going to be one of the key things for this. By keeping the price as low as possible, we're ensuring to our consumers that they're getting the best deal. So keeping the app at or below $15, we're pretty much guaranteed to do that. So, thank you for watching.